All right, let's dive into something that sits right at that fascinating crossroads between science and spirituality. We're going to explore a really powerful idea today, that the very fabric of who you are, your being, can literally shape the reality you see around you.
And this quote right here, this is the heart of it all. It's a total game changer. Forget wishing, forget hoping. The big idea we're digging into is that the universe doesn't really care about what you want. It's responding to the frequency of who you are, right now in this moment.
Okay, so if the universe is responding to our being, how in the world does that actually work? Well, to get the mechanics, we've got to start at the very bottom, with the fundamental rules of reality itself, at the quantum level.
You know, for the longest time, it felt like science and spirituality were on totally different teams. But what if they're just two different languages trying to say the same thing? They're both pointing to this one profound truth. Everything, you, me, the chair you're sitting on, it's all just energy, vibrating.
So if everything's energy, where does it all live? This brings us to a concept called the quantum field. The best way to picture it is like an infinite ocean of pure potential. It's not empty. It's actually jam-packed with every single possibility you can imagine, all existing at once.
And here's where it gets really, really cool. This means that if you have a desire in your heart, to be healed, to feel abundant, to be loved, that desire exists because a version of you who already is all those things exists as a possibility in that field. Your job isn't to create it from scratch, it's to tune your own energy to match that reality.
And that leads us to a super crucial distinction. And honestly, this is where a lot of people get tripped up. The goal isn't to attract what you want, the goal is to attract who you are.
I mean, just look at the difference here. When you're in a state of wanting, you're actually broadcasting the frequency of lack. It's like you're telling the universe, I don't have this. But when you shift into being, when you start to embody the feeling of the person who already has it, that's a state of alignment. You stop chasing, you start magnetizing.
So, how does this whole alignment thing actually work on a practical level? How does our inner state of being physically change our outer world? Let's break down the nuts and bolts.
Now, this is a little bit of a mind bender, but it is so key. You're never really experiencing the world directly. You're experiencing your nervous system's interpretation of the world. Think about it. Two people can go to the same party, and one can have the best time of their life, the other can be miserable. Same event, totally different realities. Why? Because their inner state is the filter.
Okay, so let's build the formula for how we create our personal broadcast signal. It starts with your thoughts. Every single thought that you have sends out a little electrical signal into that quantum field. And here's the second equally important piece of the puzzle, your emotions. Your feelings, well, they act as the magnetic charge. Your thoughts send the signal out, and your emotions are what draw the experiences back to you. So here's how it all comes together. Your electrical thoughts and your magnetic emotions combine to create your unique energetic signature. It's your personal broadcast, and life, with perfect, almost mathematical accuracy, just mirrors that frequency right back to you. Your focused attention, charged up with emotion, is what collapses all those infinite possibilities into the one single timeline you actually experience. So, once you realize you're basically a walking, talking broadcast tower, it becomes absolutely critical to protect that signal. And this brings us to some very practical, very old wisdom. I'm sure you've heard this old saying before, right? But it turns out there's a profound, energetic, even scientific reason behind it. This isn't about being secretive, it's about being strategic with your energy. Think about it. When you have a new dream, it's like a fragile new frequency. And when you start sharing it with everybody, you're opening it up to all of their energy, their doubts, their fears, their own limiting beliefs. All that stuff can create interference in your field. You are limitless, right up until you start trying to explain yourself to people who live inside their own limitations.
And this is exactly why that silence is so powerful. The quantum field doesn't need you to justify your dreams. It doesn't need a sales pitch for why you deserve something. It responds to one thing and one thing only, the clear, unwavering frequency of your own certainty. So this brings us to the most important part of all. How do we actually cultivate and broadcast this powerful frequency of certainty? Let's get into the actionable stuff. Just feel the energetic difference here. When you pray with please, you are reinforcing the feeling that you don't have it yet. But when you declare it is done,
You are aligning with the energy of the reality where it's already a fact. Remember, the universe isn't really responding to your words, it's responding to the frequency behind those words.
So here's a simple 4-step practice. First, just breathe. Breathe into the feeling of the person you are becoming. Second, hold that frequency. Try to carry it with you throughout your day. Third, speak less about your plans. Protect that energy. And fourth, embody more of the result. Act as if it's already real, right now.
And that leaves us with this final thought. From this perspective, everything you want to be, you already are. That version of you is just waiting in that field of potential. So the only real question left is, are you ready to align your energy and go meet them?